Hey y'all, it's Kate from the Literary Apothecary, and today is Tuesday, so we're going to do a book tag. Today we're doing the Parks and Rec book tag, and I was tagged by Stephanie at Miss Richards Reads, and I absolutely love the Parks and Rec show. It's one of my favorites. It's one of my go-to when I need to watch something good. I've watched it so many times. It's so good. And she tagged me in this. Each question is based on a character in the show, and this was a really hard one to do because these questions were hard. But I came up with one answer for everyone, and I hope that these are different than what you've heard me talk about before. So, first question, Lezlie Knope, a strong female lead character. And actually, I take back what I just said. I have two answers for this one. The first one I have is Helen Keller, which is, I grew up idolizing Helen Keller once I learned about her in elementary school. She was both blind and deaf, and she led an amazing life. And I remember walking around the halls of elementary school one day after I learned about her with my eyes closed, and I wanted to kind of be able to experience what she was experiencing in some way. I got in trouble because I was walking around the halls without my eyes closed and it wasn't safe. But I just wanted to be able to experience at least that part. I can't turn my ears off, but I can turn my eyes off. And so that, learning about her and her fortitude and determination changed my life. It made me think, well, if Helen Keller can do this, then I can do anything. And then the other strong female lead character that I have is from one of my most recent favorite series. That's Edith from the Books of Babel series by Josiah Bancroft. Edith is such an amazing, fantastic character that I couldn't not mention her here. Question 2, Ben Wyatt, a character that you can see yourself dating or marrying. For me, this one was a hard one because I don't necessarily think about characters in that sense, but I've got Roger from Outlander. I guess I could date him, marry him if, I was in that world. This was such a hard question for me. I also thought of my Harry Potter crush when I was first reading it, which was Oliver Wood. But that would be more dating. I could see myself marrying Roger, dating Oliver Wood. Question 3, Ron Swanson, a character that you didn't think you'd end up loving. And for me, this one is Severus Snape. Obviously, when we first meet Snape in the Harry Potter series, he's presented as a bad guy, a villain. And as you get to know him through this series, at least I really loved him. He's one of my favorite characters of all time, and definitely one of my favorite characters in this series. And he is just so complex and so well written. I will defend Snape to my dying day. I just love him. Question 4, April Ludgate, a grumpy character that is very lovable. And this is going to be Ove from A Man Called Ove by Frederick Bachman. Ove is that grump, that curmudgeon that doesn't want to do with anyone but is forced into this found family in his neighborhood. And by the end of the book, you just love him so much. It's the power of Frederick Bachman's writing. And this is my first Frederick Bachman book that I read, I think was last year. And I just fell in love. And by the end, I didn't want it to end. Question 5, Andy Dwyer, a character that seems to get into a lot of trouble. And this one I said was Puck from Midsummer Night's Dream by William Shakespeare. And Puck is also that lovable, mischievous character, which for me is Andy Dwyer also, and he just fit this prompt perfectly. Question 6, Anne Perkins, a character that you would love as your best friend. And for me, this one is definitely Anne Shirley from Anne of Green Gables. Anne is the best friend that anyone can have, and she's such a fantastic character and a great person, and just strives to make everyone a better person in her life, and she's just so great. Question 7, Gary, Jerry, Larry, Terry, Gergich, a book that you didn't really care for. And this one was hard because I find something in every book that I find something to enjoy in every book that I read. But I guess for me, one of my answers for this is Wild by Cheryl Strayed. I know a lot of people really love this book and felt really empowered by this book. But when I read it, I don't know if it's because I saw the movie version first, but when I read the book, I just felt meh. I didn't feel anything strong about it. I just felt meh. Question 8, Donna Meagle, a book that was spoiled for you. And for me, this was The Hero of Ages by Brandon Sanderson. And probably to my own detriment, I probably looked at a spoiler, as I'm known to do on Discord. And so I kind of had in the very back of my head what was going to happen, but I had no idea how it was going to happen or when it was going to happen. I just knew the bottom line of what was going to happen to two of our main characters. And so when I got to that moment, I was still surprised because I had no idea the power it would have and how it was going to happen, when it was going to happen, and you know what was going to happen after that. So it's kind of spoiled, but not really spoiled. I just knew that like 5% of that moment. Question 9, Chris Traeger, who is my favorite on this show. I love Chris Traeger. A character that is dealing with a lot of emotional baggage, and this one I'm going to say is Henry in The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. Henry is just that character that wants to be loved by everyone. He just wants everyone to see him in the way that they want to see him. And he has so much that he has to deal with in his life in this book, and I just related to Henry so much. Henry is just the best. And the last question, Tom Haverford, a character that has a lot of swag, and for me this one is going to be Jay Gatsby. He is all about the perception that other people have about him, so he puts on the glit and the glamour to hide what is truly going on in his life, and he's just all about the swag. So this Jay Gatsby fit perfectly for this prompt. And now we have come to the tag friends. So here, who do I tag? I tag Sharon at Sharon Dwyer. I tag Zara at Books with Zara, and I tag Lena at Lauren Lullabies. So also, if you have watched this video and you want to do this tag, consider yourself tagged. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. If you've seen Parks and Rec, let me know who your favorite character is in the comments below. Hit that notification bell so you get notified every time I have a new video out. As always, my Patreon and my Discord information will be in the description below. Come join the Patreon. It's only $1 a month and we have a ton of fun. Keep reading, and I love you all to the moon and back. Bye.